What's up, y'all? It's me, Erica, and we are down here. What are we talking about today? Go ahead and like, subscribe, and comment. Let the diva know you stopped by. I am on my way to make a run. They are having a customer appreciation day at the dispensary that I go to, so I'm going down there to buy a bunch of weed. Come on, California! So that's what I'm about to do. Anyway, so I didn't have anything that I wanted to talk about per se. The hot topic right now. Yes, come on, Gaga. I've been listening to Lady Gaga's first album like in the last 2 weeks. I just keep listening to it. It's so good, and it just brings back so many good memories for me. So anyways, so the hot topic right now is what's happening on Basketball Wives. You guys know that, in the community section, I left my comment on how I feel about the response that OG is getting, and this idea that she's just ugly. She's just ugly. I mean, just deal with it, girl. You're ugly. The people think you're ugly. You're just ugly. You're just ugly. You're just ugly. And it's like, ugly. Okay, first of all, I think all of us have learned that beauty is in the eye of the beholder. It is not a quote for no reason. Beauty is subjective. One person you might think is unattractive, another person might think is attractive, right? But the idea, when I see people who look like OG, like when I say look like OG, I'm not saying that they look exactly like OG. But what I'm saying is they got negroid features. They have large nostrils, right? High cheekbones, strong around the jaws area, right? Strong right here in the upper lip, right? Pronounced features. Sometimes you'll see a large brow, right? And I'm just going to be honest. It is similar, the facial structure is similar to that of a primate, right? Hence why people who are racist refer to black people as monkeys, right? And we're not going to act like that doesn't exist, because just before the last administration, during the Obama administration, Michelle Obama was referred to as a monkey several different times by different news outlets, and a lot of people took offense to it. No one was saying, girl, you're just ugly. You're just ugly. You're just ugly. When you say somebody is ugly, like, think about it. Like, let's think about it. Let's be serious, right? Let's think about it. When you say someone is ugly, what about them is ugly, right? The first impression that you get of somebody is their looks, right? So their looks is what makes them, quote unquote, ugly to you. Now, let's dig a little deeper. What about them is ugly? Is their eyes? Is it their nose? Is it their lips? Is it their complexion? What about it do you find? Now, you might not think that what you find attractive and what you prefer is not rooted in an illusion of white supremacy. That's fine. We're going to give you that. It don't have nothing to do with it. But you have been taught, we have all been taught, especially as black people, that there is a certain standard of beauty that makes people attractive, an aesthetic, something that the way that they look, their eyes, their nose, their lips, and their complexion, even the texture of their hair. So you might think that light-skinned girls with, wavy hair, let's say I always say Mariah Carey hair. Well, Mariah Carey, is she biracial? But I'll say like Kristen's hair. We'll just keep it on Basketball Wives. Like Kristen's hair, right? You're not going to tell me that somehow, some way, you have been conditioned to believe that that is pretty based on what's put in front of you as this is pretty, this is pretty, this is pretty, this is pretty, right? And when you break down what your preferences are, even tall men, right? Even men get it too, right? Because tall men they're deemed as or seen as they are able to protect you. You want them to tower over you because it gives you a sense of security, right? And so short men negative of that. They don't experience getting access to women because women have been taught that a tall man is a sign of protection and security. Whether or not that man is able to protect you or secure you at all, you have a preference based on what's been society has told you is attractive. You look at a person, and you probably heard me say, when I look at certain people's faces, it's aesthetically pleasing to me. That means I like the way their face looks to me, right? You're saying OG is just ugly. What about her is ugly? You can't just say somebody is ugly. Tell me why. And don't say it's her attitude, because we're not going to say that. We're not going to say that, right? It's her attitude that makes her ugly. No. She don't have an attitude. She don't have no more of a messed up attitude than Shawnee, Malaysia, Jackie, Evelyn, Jennifer, who else? Laura, Gloria. We want to name all the women who have came on Basketball Wives. We can all say Drea, Sunday, Mika. You can say all of these women have quote unquote bad attitudes. Now, what makes OG unattractive? And then like you guys are really calling this person ugly. Like she's so unattractive. And she's just unattractive in this group of girls. We may just think she's ugly. You have to ask yourself, what about her? Because how you think somebody looks comes with their features, right? Their features is what you like. Something about them, their eyes or their nose. Oh my God, their nose. Now, that's all you have to do is ask yourself that question. And when you get down and start digging, when you get down to the root of it, it's going to more than likely be aligned with a European, what is considered European beauty standards, right? A smaller nose, smaller nostrils, softer and more softer. And then it's crazy because we refer to softer, but it's really white. It's really whiter. And it's a conditioning. And I think another thing that we have a problem with is that nobody wants to admit that they are practicing colorism, right? Nobody wants to acknowledge OG's experience because then you would have to admit that you're practicing from it. And being that these women are options for men in sports, and when you look at who men in sports partner with, if they are black, they're damn near white. They're very racially ambiguous. Look at the wives of athletes. That's one of the reasons why Evelyn, who has made her way through the sporting industry, through the sports industry, made her way through it, that she knows that someone who looks like OG is not considered attractive in that arena at all. You very rarely see a black man married to a dark-skinned black woman, an athlete is what I'm talking about. You will rarely see that. I think LeBron James' wife is probably one of the darkest women that I've seen an athlete with in a very long time. So Evelyn, coming from this industry where all of the men have told her that she's the most desirable, even probably to the point where they point out darker women and say, nah, I don't like her. Or black women, I don't like her, you're badder than her, these bitches. And they pump you up. That's another thing that we have to get into. Where are you centering these standards of beauty? Is it based on what men find desirable? Because that's where Evelyn is coming from. Because in her mind, there's no way in the world that I come from this industry and all the men have told me I'm the one that they desire to find OG attractive. Not Chad Ocho, black ass Ocho Cinco. No way could he find someone like her attractive. No way. To the point where she went, and the person who gave her a scar on her face, she went to make sure, wait, this woman I've been calling ugly and saying that she looks like a monkey and all of these things, you find her attractive? wait a minute, I need to make sure that's true. She can't be telling the truth. And then to flip it around and say you are the victim. And if that ain't no, I don't know, you want to call Evelyn Karenita? I don't know what you want to call her, but bitch, if that ain't Karen, I don't know what to say. You're the aggressor. Evelyn, has been the most violent person on reality TV. Woman on reality TV. So much so that she went to Iyanla to help her remove that image. And she's still acting the same way. Last season she jumped over a table. She's the one. I gotta go. Let me come back. I'll be back. All right, I'm back. It's Black History Month. That's what the customer appreciation was for Black History Month. So they have a little food truck out here, and they give you a little ticket so you can get some food. They had this little food truck that had sliders on it. So sliders and potato salad, and they had different types of sliders. So I got the buffalo chicken slider. It's cute with potato salad. And then I just bought, my trees. I didn't buy any edibles today, just a bunch of flour. Anyway, so what were we talking about? Yeah, so I was thinking about that when I was inside of the dispensary, and then I was just thinking, like, why are we using the word ugly? Like, and the word ugly is so ugly. And it's like, why would you just, and it's like, and then I'm just going to be honest, what I see, and when I see men talking about OG, all the men look like OG. All of them the same complexion. All of them have wide nostrils. All of them have pronounced lips up here, all in this area right here. All of them have real pronounced brows right here. How do you look in the mirror and see a woman standing next to you that looks like you and say she's ugly, she's unattractive? So that would denote that there's something in you that you deem unattractive. Somebody in the comments was like, why would a man want a woman that looks like him? Why wouldn't he? What's wrong? What's wrong with what you look like? Is there a problem with what you look like? It's like when you think about it, and then it's always when you think about your dating preferences and when you think about who you believe is attractive or not, think about why. What is it about them? Why do you think they're unattractive? Why? You understand what I'm saying? And that's what I was talking about yesterday on the community page. It's like Jackie Christie. There's no coincidence that Jackie Christie treated her dark-skinned daughter horribly. Not only was her daughter dark-skinned, I think she had she was hearing impaired. Okay, I also think that she was fat. So I remember her daughter saying that my mom would have me on the treadmill running and running and running. So you a colorist, you fat phobic, and you an ableist? Like, girl, like, just, you can't say nothing to the conversation about colorism. You can't contribute. The thing that I think a lot of people have a problem with is being labeled something that puts them in the seat with their oppressor. Nobody wants to be labeled a racist. Nobody wants to be labeled a colorist. That means that you practice white supremacy. It is. And that's what it means. And nobody wants, especially black people, they don't want to hear that. But you can guarantee that colorist ideologies is not ingrained, almost coded in our DNA. Because we, for 400 years, have been told that you got to look like this to be attractive. If you are lighter complexion, you get treated better. If you look more like a white woman, when we say white people, you have different features than them. And I'm not going to even say softer features, because that in itself is me kind of co-signing that white features are softer and therefore more delicate. And it falls into all of that. So while you may think someone is unattractive, it's in your best interest to ask yourself why. Upon first glance, what's unattractive about this person? You don't like their nose? That's some colorist shit. You don't like their hair texture? And then the wrong person, I listened to that audio of OG, and I listened and I said to myself, Kristen is looking for a way to invalidate OG's feelings, right? And she's so fucking smart. She said, I'm not even telling you my feelings because you guys are trying to dismiss my experience. You can't tell me that my experience isn't what I experience. I don't care if you favor. Yeah, it's maybe Shawnee just favors Evelyn. Yeah, why do you think she favors her? Why do you think that she's like, I don't want to meet with, I'll meet with OG, but I don't want her to be confrontational. You guys are the aggressor. She's the one that's had the bad experience. How the hell would you expect her to be confrontational, aggressive? All of these words. And y'all, I really don't understand how you can fully understand racism. You can understand racism. You could get it. You understand that, but you don't understand colorism. You don't think that this is what this woman is experiencing. If you go back and look at my Basketball Wives reviews, I said it before I even decided that it was some colorist shit happening. I knew there was a prejudice happening, and OG was being prejudged based on her looks. Go back and look at the cast of Basketball Wives throughout its years. Yes, they've had some dark-skinned women on there, but look at their features. Look at their features. Look at Jennifer's features. Look at Kristen's features. Kristen has wavy hair. And Miss Bondi Blue made a great example of saying, Kristen is from Louisiana. There's no way in the world could you be from the South and not understand that lighter skinned folks get preferential treatment over dark skinned folks. And the dark skinned girls are told you're pretty for a dark skinned girl. You cannot tell me, and that's the part that I have a problem with. You're sitting in front of me lying to me. You're a liar. You're a liar. You're lying to me because you can't tell me that I didn't know it had anything to do with featureism. Girl, yes you did. Yes you did. There's no wonder as to why grandparents would go around pinching their grandkids' nose. Why? We don't want you to have that wide ass nose. It's no reason that even in my own family, all of the women are on my paternal side. My grandmother and all her sisters, most of her sisters, light-skinned women, married to dark-skinned men. And they are very aware that, even my grandmother, she would make jokes to my grandfather and say, yeah, you wanted to get with me because you thought I was a white woman. You thought I was a white woman. Right? Because she knew that her complexion was more acceptable. Right? The color of your eyes. Oh, you got them funny colored eyes. All of that stuff. Y'all not going to sit up here and act like this shit that doesn't exist. And you really want to act like it doesn't exist because you don't want to admit that you participate in it. And it's really not your fault. This is a social conditioning that it has been ingrained in the way that we look at other people, in the way that we feel about other people, in the way that we can access compassion for other people. OG is going through this shit and having this experience, and everybody's saying, girl, just get over it. It's just you ugly. You ugly, girl. Who says that to somebody? Even me, and I was telling somebody on Twitter, I don't do that. When I'm arguing with somebody, looks is the last thing I go for. And you might look like Evelyn Lozada. You might look like Jennifer Williams. You might look like what society has deemed attractive. I'm going to find something on you that I can talk about. But it's going to be the last thing. There's so many other things that you can come at a person about besides their looks. Because what I might think is unattractive, another person might think is attractive. Ask yourself, why do you have these preferences? And then ask yourself furthermore, if I put on a wig and stand next to OG, Me and this bitch look just alike. And then you gotta dig deep. You gotta dig deep and say, you know what? You know what? I have a problem with my large nose. I find it unattractive on people that reflect back to me, who I want to be in partnership with, who I relate to. I find that wide nose unattractive. And look in the mirror and say to yourself, why do I find my features unattractive? Who taught you that? It's not your fault. It's not your fault, y'all. And it's just, I think that's, and the gaslighting, like, I don't know what she's talking about. And then for the woman who is the actual aggressor in this, to have called a Filipino woman Lily, and then for Malaysia to turn around and be like the nail shop lady. So that tells me that you are aware of this stuff. You're very much aware of this stuff. And then for her to come back and say, I don't know, I didn't use, why would you use a monkey when you are subtweeting or talking about, oh, it was just the third one that came up laughing. So you're completely oblivious to think like, damn, I'm talking about this black woman. I should not use a monkey to describe her, because black people have been called monkeys still to this day. Michelle Obama was called a monkey. I even Google Michelle Obama and monkey, and you're going to see what I saw. All of these pictures of Michelle Obama and her entire face changed to look like a monkey. So you're not going to tell me that there's not an awareness and that you're so far removed from society that you don't know that you get preferential treatment based on your skin tone. People feel compassion for you based on your skin tone. People understand your pain. Go ask women that are in the hospital giving birth. You wonder why black women are ignored. Their pain is ignored. Why? Because you black. That's why. You black, and you're seen as stronger, superhuman, and you can deal with pain. You can endure pain. So I'm gonna ignore your pain. And the white woman screaming down the hall, the same exact screams, we're gonna run because she must be in distress. Don't act like that. That's the part that really bothers me, is acting like I don't know what OG is talking about. That's maybe Shawnee is just favoring Evelyn because she's her friend. Why do you think that Shawnee is okay with her friend being the most violent person on television, in reality TV, amongst women? Why do you think she has overlooked it so much? Why do you think that? Why do you think that it's okay for Evelyn to act like a buffoon and then just OG say, look, keep messing with me. I know that you're used to messing with people, but don't mess with me. I'll beat your fucking ass. And all of a sudden, OG has to be locked up and separated from a woman who picked up a full wine bottle and threw it at somebody, from a woman who picked up a table in a different country and threw it at somebody. Oh, well, they're the same complexion. There's the same complexion. How many times have you been told you're pretty for a black girl? You know how many times, and even myself, and this is a moment of transparency. As I was growing up, I was always, for the most part, the only black girl in my group. So I would hear from other men and women. My mother's friends used to ask my mother, what was my father's nationality? What's your daughter mixed with? Because my mother is a dark-skinned woman, and she herself was I used to tell my mother, you're so color struck. She was always worried about somebody's complexion. And growing up, I didn't get it, but I used to always be like, man, you're color struck, you're color struck, you're color struck, right? And she's a dark-skinned woman, and I used to see it as a compliment when somebody would ask me, what was I mixed with? Do you know how hateful that is? To be like, I'm the only reason why you find me attractive is because you think that I'm mixed. Not that I'm black, but that I'm mixed. That's colorist as fuck. Featurist as fuck. Even though to me, I'm black. And when I realized that I was doing that, I was like, oh, Erica, that's not a compliment. They're telling you that your blackness isn't good enough. They're telling you that you have to be mixed with something in order to be desirable. And then when people still to this day will ask me, what are you mixed with? And I say black and blacker. Okay? Both my parents black. All 4 of my grandparents, actually 5 of my grandparents black. So ain't no question. I know I've done my ancestry, and lady, when I clicked on that white man's picture, I shut the damn computer like Nene shut the computer at the reunion. I don't want to see it. I don't want to know. Because to me, and then all of that, oh, you mixed with Indian, you mixed with this, oh, you look like you mixed, or you light skinned. Come on, y'all not going to act like lighter people don't get preferential treatment. You're not going to act like that. And not only is Evelyn is considered exotic, right? You not black, you Puerto Rican, you give us the vibes, but you're not black, so you safe. Because I don't want black. I want something close to black, but not black, because I hate myself. And I hate myself so much that I want to partner and procreate with women to erase myself. Come on now. We're not going to act like this shit is I just don't get it. I just don't get it. And using ugly to describe OG. And so many people are having to tell OG, you're not ugly, you're not ugly. Let me tell you one motherfucking thing. OG? No, she ain't ugly. So I don't even know. She ain't ugly. Her athleticism, her physique, everything. Top tier. She really is, if you really want to get down to it, OG she looks like the principal human, the black woman who gave birth to civilization before her blood was tainted with white colonized blood. Come on, y'all. And for men, because men, what they find desirable is going to fall right in line with European standards of beauty. And that's what Evelyn had a problem with, because Evelyn has never called anyone on that show ugly until OG. Nobody has ever been described as ugly. How could you call that lady ugly and then diminish it all the way down to you just ugly? You just ugly. People don't find you attractive. Why don't they find her attractive? Because you guys have been fed that the closer you are to looking like somebody like Evelyn, the closer you are to looking like somebody like Mariah Carey, the closer you are to looking like somebody like Zendaya, the closer you are to looking like Beyonce, the closer you are to looking like that, that's what makes you beautiful. That's a colonized, conditioned mind, and that's all that it is. You guys leave your comments below. I know this is a triggering topic, and I think one thing that we need to make sure that we do is speak plainly, stop speaking in circles when it comes to this thing, and call it out. Because I don't believe that Kristen wanted to learn anything. I believe she was waiting for an opportunity to invalidate OG's feelings. OG said, I'm not going to tell you my feelings. You think I'm going to tell you my feelings when you've tried to invalidate my experience? Absolutely not. That's what we're not going to do. And I'm not going to waste time with you trying to educate a black woman in 2021 sitting across from me trying to invalidate my experience because you don't like me for whatever reason. Why you don't like me? Oh, because we've had some run-ins. Why? Because you felt I needed to be at my party at a certain time because you was just there for a check. And now when I tell you I helped you with that because, bitch, it was my scene, because I helped you with that, now you want to take offense to it. Girl, bye. I'm just like OG. I'm tired of talking to these fucking hoes. I'm tired of this shit. Anyways, y'all, let's get down in the comments. Let me know what you think. That's it. Like I said, speak plainly and don't speak in riddles when we're talking about this. Because when we speak in riddles, that means that we're trying to hide something. Speak plainly and speak with conviction because you know what it is. And don't let anybody invalidate your experience and tell you maybe you're just ugly. Get the fuck out of here. All right, y'all, take care of each other. Protect your energy. Peace.